from the Texas Cheer Liquor Studios. It's in the building with Mike Taylor and Rudy J.
What are y'all a little early today?
Coffee/tea. Cheers. That's tea, right?
Cheers to you, sir.
Cheers.
Yeah, welcome. It's a weird edition today because for people that watch this thing live and have gotten used to it being at a certain time,
Surprise,
we're not on at that certain time today. We're earlier than normal to accommodate my television. I don't know, guest appearances this morning.
What do they call it? Press run.
Press run. Yeah, we're doing a junket today. So as things were, I got scheduled to be on multiple television stations today. And so to accommodate that, we're on early. So hi, if you're being like, what the hell are they doing on at 9 o'clock? For those that watch us live every day, good morning. It is 9 a.m. Central Texas time. It is in the building, program number 325 from the Pub Sports Radio Studios and the Texas Cheer Liquor Studios in Southtown, Texas, with Rudy and Mike. And the audio disseminator is Jose Bouquet. I got up early this morning.
What, about 5?
I set it for 5:30. And, can we do punch right off the top?
Yeah, it's Wednesday, right?
It's Wednesday. It is in the building. We're early on Love You Hard TV.
Now, it's time for People I Want to Punch on In the Building.
See if we can get the Jeff Traylor interview played later on in the hour. Don't jinx it. We're up 3-1.
I ain't saying anything.
Series ain't over yet.
I'm not even going to talk about it.
Yeah.
I want to punch Salvation Army Media Director and Public Relations Director Brad Mayhall.
Bang early.
So first of all, thumbs up to Brad for getting me booked on multiple local television stations.
My mouth hasn't closed yet. You can't punch Brad. Nobody punches Brad.
In the balls.
Who punches Brad?
I just did.
What did Brad do? Brad's one of the nicest guys I know.
He's a very nice guy, but he told me last night, hey, we need you to be at KSAT at between 7 and 7:15. That deep East Texas drawl.
Where's he from?
Lufkin.
Oh, so he's a Lufkin boy. I'm a Tyler boy.
Dude,
F Lufkin.
Dude.
Shout out to Des
I
Bryant.
think the median household income in Lufkin's like $18,000 a year.
17.5.
Brad's like, hey, so I was on KSAT television this morning. Thank you very much. Shout out to the producers at KSAT Morning News and RJ Marquez, their anchor.
What up, RJ?
Reporter.
Only other RJ I recognize is RJ Marquez. I'm the original RJ.
Marquez.
Marquez is cool.
He's judging this week at the barbecue.
Yeah.
So it was cool, synergy. And Brad got me booked on that morning show, no problem. Need you to be there between 7 and 7:15. And so I show up, go to the gate. They have to get into a television station, it's like getting into a jailhouse.
Because some people are stupid and want to hurt people, and want to hurt or stalk TV media personalities. Yeah.
KSAT scans your face before they let you.
I like it.
Crazy.
I love that type of stuff. It makes me feel safe. Pat me down.
It is safe.
Yeah, I like that.
So got in there and RJ walked. So they go to they got the show going, and I'm just sitting at the corner. And RJ goes to break and walks over and goes, "Dude, what are you doing here so early?" I'm like, "What do you mean? What am I doing here so early? It's 7:15."
Yeah.
He's like, "No, you didn't have to be." I'm like, "When did I need to be here?" Like 7:40, bro.
So you punching him over 25 minutes, Mike?
Fuck yeah. You know how important that's REM sleep that I missed out on.
You punching Brad over 25 minutes?
The most important sleep of the night is the last couple of hours.
It is.
Brad Mayhar told me to be there at 7:15. I went back to look at my text messages.
Now, this is why I agree with the punch. Because Mike is an habitual on-time person.
Yes.
So now for somebody like me, like I have a couple buddies. If we have a tea time at 8, I'll tell them 7:30 because I know they're going to be running up to the tee box at 7:58.
Yep.
So for somebody like me, Brad, tell me 7:15 because I'll probably be rolling up at 7:13. So you could do that for people like me. But somebody like Mike is always on time.
Thank you.
There's no need for Brad to set you up like that.
Very routine too.
Yeah, Mike hates being late. Yeah, and when I say Mike is on time, if Mike's supposed to be there at 7:15, I bet you got there at 7.
Sure.
Yeah,
Yeah, I got there.
Mike's from the Mike's from that era where if you're
When
on
men
time,
were men.
if you're on time, you're late.
I'm from the era when men were men.
Right.
And we weren't all a bunch of androgynous crocs wearing pussies. When we
Damn.
got to places on time,
Tell 'em.
15 minutes ahead, from the old
I
school.
like to make an entrance. At 7:15, Rudy coming in at 7:13:30.
So I'm punching Brad for
Yeah,
costing
punch
me
Brad, because we don't have to do that with
25
Mike.
minutes of sleep time.
Yeah, you don't have to do that with Mike, Brad. So
He
punch
got
Brad.
there at 7:40. He told me early on purpose.
Yeah, punch him right in the ball head.
And I'm not mad at him, but I'm still punching him. We're buddies. And the reason we're early this morning is
But you
because-
punch your homies. You're supposed to.
Oh, yeah. If I
What the
can't
heck?
punch you, we can't be friends.
Yeah, we ain't gonna be friends. Yeah,
I think I've been punched the most on this show in the last few weeks.
Probably
sure.
so,
You
yeah.
deserve every one of them.
Absolutely, yeah, for sure.
Fuck.
And by the way, and we're fair about our punches. You only
Yeah,
get
we
punched
ain't
if
punching you
deserve
for
it.
no reason.
Yeah, that's right.
And we also give you your props when you deserve them.
Right.
So it's all good.
That's it.
What's up, Action
So I'm
Jackson?
happy that Brad booked me on the TV station.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So the reason we're starting early this morning is because we got to get off at 10 because I got to go up to Fox after this. So I'm going to be on Fox at 11. So I got to get out of here at 10:05. I got to run home, let my dogs out.
Jesus, man.
They're
Them damn
old.
dogs, man.
They're old, man.
Dude, they're
they're
worse
old.
than kids. Because the kids at that age, you can just leave them.
It's like they're born puppies and then they die puppy. They act like
Yeah.
puppies at death. Old people
You
and
always
old,
got to run home and let them dogs out.
Always. My
Y'all
whole
need a doggy door.
dude, and that's really one of the reasons why I'm such a regimented, scheduled person is because I got a lot of shit,
Yeah.
and things get out of kilter easily. Anyway, I'm not rested, but I'm in a good mood, and we're promoting the barbecue, and I am happy about that. And so if y'all didn't see me on KSAT this morning, I'll be on Fox 29 here at 11 a.m. on the
Nice.
midday show. Who you punching?
I'm punching one Donovan Mitchell. Donovan Mitchell goes to the podium. Shout out to Donovan for playing hurt. But going to the podium last night saying, y'all are going to write us the bleep off. And you know what? We're going to be back. And you know what, Donovan? We are going to write you off. All right? Y'all suck. You're a regular season warrior team. You're never going to win with that team. You're the same guy you were in Utah, a guy that can average 30 and is taking a team nowhere. You're never going to be anything unless you go and team up. And guess what? Teaming up is the cool thing to do. Now, again, the big three thing is kind of wearing off because a lot of these teams, like, when you look at Denver, you look at OKC, a lot of these teams were built from the ground up, which, again, I'll probably change my mind about the Spurs and trying to get Giannis. But, yes, Donovan, we're going to write you off because that's what your credit reports state. When you go in to buy a car, they go off of your credit history. And they determine what your interest rate should be, if you can afford this car, etc. When I pull up Donovan Mitchell's credit report, it says, damn, this guy's a baller. But he ain't never going to win shit. So, yes, Donovan, you are 1,000% correct. We are going to write you off, and we will be right. And don't try to chastise us about writing you off because your credit report says what happened to you versus the Pacers is what's going to continue to happen to you for the rest of your career. So, punch Donovan Mitchell. And I love Donovan Mitchell. But punch him right in the chest.
Good punch.
I don't want to punch him in the face.
Good punch.
He's a nice guy, but I'll punch him in the chest.
I like Donovan Mitchell, too.
I like Donovan.
And he spent all those years as a very underrated star in Utah.
Yeah.
No one even knew he existed. Like, Donovan Mitchell could walk into this bar right now. Most people wouldn't have any idea that he's a
Not people in San Antonio.
seven-time
no.
All-Star. Most cities. And so he finally gets out of Utah. And where does he wind up? In the wasteland that is Cleveland. That poor guy.
Yeah.
Had he been a Knick, things would be different for him. Like, he'd be a household face.
Oh, gosh.
He's
yeah.
a household name among people that like the NBA, but he ain't a household face.
No.
You know what I mean? He don't get recognized at the Walmart.
No,
or the
Donovan can
Target.
walk through Walmart
Yeah,
and have
for
no
sure.
problem.
So he finally gets on a team. They have a good season. What, they win 50-some-odd games?
They were number one seed.
Dude, and then to shit the bed the way they did, they got beat by a better team, though, I would argue.
The
They
Pacers, and this just in, Mike.
With
Rick
an-
Carlisle can coach a little bit.
Pretty good. Pretty good.
Rick Carlisle can coach a little bit.
Yeah,
so,
man.
yeah, man. Halliburton playing his ass off. Miles Turner.
Yeah.
They got a couple dogs over there, but
Yeah.
we'll see how this series against the Knicks or the Celtics. I ain't gonna write the Celtics off just yet. I want to see. Jaylen Brown's been dying for this opportunity.
Mm-hmm.
Him and Jason get along, but they both feel like they're the best. And I have no problem with healthy competition.
Mhm.
Their competition is healthy. It's not Shaq and Kobe toxic, but you see it in the body language. If you pay attention to body language, you see it. And Jalen's been waiting for this opportunity. So let's see what Jalen, because Boston's still really deep. So I'm not going to write him off just yet, but I want to see if Jaylen Brown and how highly he thinks of himself, if he can step to the plate and win a couple games for the Celtics. But yeah, we'll see. Pacers, Knicks, I wouldn't be mad at either series because the Pacers look like they belong.
Orlando Kill brings us people I want to punch each and every day here on In the Building, thinking that, okay, he went to UT. Don't let the initials fool you. He's a Longhorn. Now, if you're a Sooner, he'll still do business with you, though. He's an equal opportunist. He had some Aggies he represented up in Waxahachie not long ago. He gets out. He branches out of the city.
He took Aggies money?
He took Aggie money. Well, the Aggies got money.
Green.
They got money.
We don't see maroon. We'll see maroon when we talking about that bread.
Yeah, absolutely. So he went up to Waxahachie not long ago for a case. Point is that he'll come to you. He is certified to practice family law for over 25 years in the great state of Texas, serving inner San Antonio, Bexar County. However, he will travel if need be. So if you need a family lawyer, call Orlando.
Is Waxahachie sundown?
Used to be. Not as much.
Not no more.
Not as much. There's not very many sundown towns anymore.
know.
There are some.
Now you gotta go. There's certain places in Mississippi you're gonna get off the road.
Well, in Texas, there's a few.
There's a few sundowns in Texas. You think so?
Yeah, absolutely.
Jasper, obviously.
Jasper's probably one of them. I don't think you're not going to get killed, but someone's going to ask you, what are you doing?
Hey, do you know where you at?
Yeah. Hey,
you know what time it is?
And they do it way more politely now. Hey, can I help you Can I help you get to where you're going? You need directions? They're really sweet about their racism. Can I escort you to the county line? You can follow me.
These is whites only pies. That was back in the day.
Orlando.
Do you know what a sundown town is, Jose?
Yes, I do actually.
Are you sure? He's from Virginia.
Yeah,
you know? They got some sundown towns.
I grew up with racist
whites. You know what's crazy that Virginia is the South?
To New Yorkers,
that's
it's
crazy.
Deep South.
Yeah, that's crazy.
It's crazy. It is crazy. Nina's going to Virginia in the fall.
Dude, her job is awesome.
Yeah, she'll be in Charlottesville. That's where UVA is.
Oh, okay.
University of Virginia.
I did my naval school in Virginia Beach, and I had a blast.
Yeah.
I loved Virginia Beach,
Great
dude.
place.
Mm-hmm. I was only 19, but
yeah,
I was like, damn, Virginia Beach is the shit.
Where's Allen Iverson? Newport. He's Newport News.
Yeah.
Newport,
a lot of HBCUs right there where I was.
Yeah.
Okay.
So is Michael Vick as well. Shout out to
Norfolk
Mike
State.
Vick also.
Yeah.
Very good.
By the way,
wait, Mike Vick's coaching at Norfolk State.
He is.
Yeah, that's cool.
By the way, our guy Steve O.R. has a dumb question.
That's a good
for
question,
you.
What's
actually.
up, Steve?
Mike saying, dumb question. Is alcohol allowed at the barbecue? Ask
No.
my friend.
Okay. A lowercase n to know.
You got to watch what you say, Mike. You know they be watching you.
No, I don't care. It's fine. No, it's okay. Look, obviously it's a free country. We can't stop you from drinking. What we ask is that you don't blatantly advertise it. Like, don't walk around with a Bud Light in your hand.
No, don't walk around with a
cup.
Tito's bottle like, hey, who needs a shot?
Yeah, a couple things.
Bring a Yeti.
Keep it in a Yeti. Keep it in a red Solo cup, whatever. Hide the label, that's all we ask on that. And please, don't get shit-faced.
Right.
This is a charity.
For kids.
It's a religious-based charity for children at a youth center.
Right.
So let's not get shit-faced and cause a scene. Knock on wood, we've never had something like that happen.
Don't even say
ever.
it.
I've never had to break
happen.
up a fight or
a
couple got I never had to deal with insanity. And it usually goes very good. So the answer is yes, you can drink. All we ask is you use a cup or a Yeti, like Rudy said. Use a flask, whatever it might be. All right. So thank you to Orlando.
Or
Kill
you
for
could
bringing the
just
punches.
not drink for a couple hours. I mean,
Yeah,
and this is coming
or
from
just
somebody
not
that
drink.
it's just coming from somebody that loves to drink. If you're going out there for a couple hours, I think you can go without a couple hours without drinking.
But we're not going to ask.
Now, the barbecue teams, it's tough to barbecue a brisket and not have a couple.
You got to have some beers.
You know what I'm saying?
For sure. No, I'll probably drink some beers too.
Yeah.
I always wind up taking shots with the teams.
I know.
Because normally we'll get there and I'll make the rounds, and say hi to everybody when it starts. And I'll wind up taking 2 or 3 shots and having a beer or two. It's fine. Just let's keep it on the down. Be an adult about your drinking. Should I do I need to say more about that?
No, you don't.
Okay, very good. Thank you. And thanks to Orlando Kill for bringing us people I want to punch. If you need a family attorney, okay, that's my guy. Call Orlando Kill at 210-775-4995. You can email him directly, orlandokilllaw@gmail.com. orlandokilllaw@gmail.com. We're supposed to talk bull riding here around 9:30.
With the Gambler
And
CEO, ain't we?
Yeah, and he's another guy who's on time.
Mhm.
These Cowboys are on time. They're very punctual. They get up early. You know, Cowboys. Well, the Cowboys are used to get up before the chickens. So
Right.
he'll be on time if there's not a internet issue. My boy will be on time, Jose. So just pop on and let me know when he's ready to go. It is in the building from the Texas Cheer Studios at Pub Sports Radio in Southtown. Jump onto the chat, whether you are chatting with us via Love You Hard TV or our partners at Pub Sports Radio. Maybe you're watching via the wonderment that is the Anthem TV app. We're on that app too each and every day. We're also on the Believe podcast network where you listen to us. Maybe it's Spotify. Maybe you can check us out on Apple or iHeart, whatever it is you choose to do so. We appreciate you watching and or listening. And you can donate to us via the Super Chat when you jump into the chat box. You can donate money to us if you want to via the Super Chat or the Buy Me a Coffee link, which I have no doubt Jose will link momentarily. Aaron Canuper, who you got to meet up here yesterday, is in the building.
What up, AK? It's Kniper.
I know, but I call him Canuper forever, so I can't change.
I know. I just call him AK.
Come back down, so I can read Aaron's post.
This is Texas. I call him AK. We like AK.
Morning, boys. What's the over and under on years before snobby sports writers put Pete Rose and shoeless Joe Jackson into the Hall of Fame?
You want a segue?
Yeah.
I know it's a little ways down on the rundown. You want a segue? Since he asked and he donated?
No, he gave
it's
money.
up to you.
We'll move it up in the run sheet if he asks. So yesterday, Major League Baseball announced that they were removing Pete Rose from the banned for life list because his life is over. Pete died last year. And so when you're banned for life means when you're dead, you're no longer banned. You can't ban a dead man. And on paper, I guess you still can, but now that baseball has this rule where they're going to start, when guys die that have been banned forever, they're going to take them off the banned for life list. And all that means is now that he's technically banned, no longer banned from baseball, the Hall of Fame now can nominate him if they want to. He's eligible to be on the Hall of Fame ballot.
Well, there's two things. One, Pete Rose is dead.
Died last year.
Oh my God!
What? Dog, is that
oh
funny?
my God, Rudy!
And number two, why are you waiting until people are dead to give them their flowers? That is so stupid. Like, if he could be unbanned dead, then why not just do the right thing and do it while he's alive?
I agree. When did Joe Jackson die? 1970, something like this.
1922. Yeah.
Come on, man. I don't like to curse a lot. I'm trying to cuss less on this podcast. Fuck the Major League Baseball Hall of Fame.
Yeah, with all my might.
Fuck the Baseball Writers Association.
They're the most
I doubt they put
snobby,
Pete in.
snooty, you can't sit with us group of writers I've ever known in all my years in covering sports.
Yeah, they're all a bunch of social misfits. They're all a bunch of out of shape. Don't bathe very often.
Didn't make varsity till their senior year. Didn't get on the diamond until it was senior night.
Got no other skills in life.
Virgins until they were 28.
Correct. These are the same assholes that keep Barry Bonds out of the Hall. These are the same shitbags that keep Roger Clemens out of the Hall. As long as Roger Clemens and Barry Bonds are not in the Hall of Fame,
F them.
Fuck the Hall of Fame.
No, I'm not going to Cooperstown, Bernard. For what? Why would we? Why would we support that?
I would not go to Cooperstown, Bernard.
As cool as it might be, I can't support the baseball
It would be
writers.
very cool, but I'm not supporting it. No, I'm not. And I'm not. So when I say fuck the Hall of Fame, I shouldn't say that. Well, you know what? It's kind of the Hall of Fame needs to stop allowing writers to tell them who to put in.
Yeah.
There needs to be a better way to vote guys in rather than leave it up to these out-of-touch asshole writers that won't put Barry Bonds in the Hall of Fame because he did juice.
Because there's a bunch of guys, there's a bunch of guys that did the juice that don't have the resume. That's why it's stupid. Like, there was a bunch of dudes that was on the juice. Oh, not all of them have the resume to get in, so it's not like Barry and Roger got in because of their resume. Steroids didn't put them in the Hall.
Yeah.
It's the stupidest shit ever.
If you want to keep Pete out because he bet on the game, I don't have any problem with that. Now, conversely, I don't have any problem with Pete being in the Hall of Fame. But I get why. Well, he bet on the game.
That part,
I get
yeah.
that. But it makes more sense to leave Pete Rose out of the Hall of Fame than it does Roger Clemens, one of the 5 greatest pitchers of all time, who was accused of juicing. It's never been proven.
Never tested
he went
positive.
all the way to the Supreme Court of the United States with the great Rusty Hardin as his attorney and got off. There was no proof. He was exonerated. He went through the system, yet baseball writers won't let Roger Clemens in the Hall of Fame because of innuendo. Fuck the Hall of Fame.
And I would even listen to the argument on A-Rod because after steroids was banned, he tested positive a couple times. So I'll listen to you on A-Rod, even though A-Rod's resume is beautiful.
He has to be in.
But A-Rod, I would listen. What I'm saying is I'll listen to the argument. With Roger and Barry, there's nothing to go by other than their head size.
And just reports and exposés. Who cares?
It's stupid.
Who cares? Pete Rose, I get, because he bet on the game and then and as George says, he lied his ass off about it forever. Pete Rose was not a good man. Pete Rose was a douchebag. And all you baby boomers that love him will hate hearing that. It's okay to say he was one of the great players of all time.
But he was an asshole.
And he was a horrible fucking human being off the field.
Fair.
That's fair. You can say both. If they put him in, I'm cool with it. If they don't,
Whatever.
I'm cool with it, And George, you don't have any proof that Clemens cheated his butt off. You just don't. We're pretty sure he did, but big deal. Cheated his butt off. What do you mean cheated? What did he do? Give me some specifics on how Roger Clemens cheated his butt off. What do you mean?
Pete Rose, pedophile, though.
Well, he did
I don't
bang
know about
underage
that.
girls, and then lied about it after the fact and said he didn't know they were 15.
How about this?
Pete
then?
Rose was a scumbag of a human being. But that should not keep him out of the Hall of Fame based on his career.
A lot of
he
dudes.
bet on
man.
games
I'm not
when he
saying
was a
it's right,
manager.
but those old school dudes, not all, but a lot of them had underage women. It wasn't a thing then. I'm not saying it was right. I'm just saying it wasn't a thing. People knew.
Not like now. No.
Yeah, people knew. But like, okay, let's say George, Roger, you want to talk shit about Roger, you want to talk shit about Barry. Okay, well then put Roger in for his Red Sox career. Put Barry in for his Pirates career. They got 2 Hall of Fame careers.
Mm-hmm.
You could put him in on that one before the juice came around. I could put him in off of that. I could put Barry Bonds in off of his Pirates resume alone. So this is stupid.
And I don't think steroids is cheating, by the way. I never have.
And in 2052, we won't either because it'll be all legal. HGH, TRT, peptides, all of it will be like, yeah, of course you use that. We want you on that instead of fucking opioids and Xanax.
Sure.
I'd much rather have my guys on HGH and TRT than freaking pain pills and weed. I throw weed in there. I'd rather have them on that than pain pills.
Between 1995 and 2005, I would guess that 75% of every Major League Baseball player was on some sort of enhancement, whether it was steroids
Or greenies.
or HGH, whatever you want to call it.
It's stupid.
I would argue that 75% of the league. So if you're cheating a cheater, are you really cheating? No. Most of the guys that Clemens faced when he was pitching were also on the juice. The entire fucking Texas Rangers club was on the juice in the 90s. All those guys were juicing.
Yeah.
All of them. You don't keep them out of the Hall of Fame.
Mm-mm.
It's dumb. It's tainted. So anyway, that's a subject that I get pissed off about.
Right.
Because whatever. It's science is allowing
Barry
you to,
and Roger saw everybody getting $100 million contracts, and they were like, let me get that. Bonds was like, what? That dude just got $100 million?
But again, you cannot prove Roger Clemens
Right.
cheated. There's zero. He went to court. He was exonerated. That's it, period. He did not cheat. The system says he didn't cheat. And Roger's over it, by the way. He don't give a shit. He don't give a shit anymore. He don't give a shit. And I don't think most fans do. The Hall of Fame, the whole thing's been tainted. So it's not even, does it even really mean that much to be in the Hall like it used to?
Yeah.
I would say no. I don't think so.
You listen to Chipper Jones talk about Barry Bonds, how good he was.
Sure.
And then come back to me. That's
Right.
Chipper. We all love Chipper. Who don't
Like
love Chipper?
Jones. Yeah, sure. And he was right there. And Chipper knows I'm right. 75% of the guys in the league were all juicing.
Yeah.
And but there's so many different kinds of juicing. We put it all in one box. We don't even have any those of us that aren't scientists and don't have our specialties in this science realm.
Right.
We don't know what we're even talking about when it comes to There's so many different kinds of things that you can take.
Yeah, because I mean, look, Lance Armstrong didn't look like Barry Bonds and Roger Clemens.
No, he was
was
on
on
blood.
every-
He was on blood.
He was on
platelets.
all types of shit. So not just because the guy wasn't huge doesn't
Yeah.
mean he wasn't on PEDs.
Right. We put everything in a one. Everything's steroids.
Yeah, stupid.
Okay, it is
Whatever.
George, I'm not meaning to bag on you. I don't believe that it's not cheating. It's not. But anyway, back to what I said a minute ago. Fuck the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, agreed. 1,000%.
All right, it's in the building, presented in part by Jay Ribaldo, the official real estate
What up, Jay?
agent. Jay Ribaldo has new listings all the time on his website. He tweets them out. He puts them on his Instagram page. Jay always wants his people to be up to speed on the very latest listings because this market here it's a hot market. And we're going to be a hot market for decades to come because it's a great place to live. It's cheaper than all the other major cities in Texas. This is the place to move if you're looking for a reasonably priced family home. And there's the one he just posted a few weeks ago on Civilian in San Antonio. There's another one he posted on Lake Louise Drive. These are houses that are all in the mid-twos. These are $500,000+ homes in Austin,
Right.
Houston. But in Bexar County, that one right there that Bookie's got listed on Lake Louise Drive, $224. It's a beautiful little spread. To see all the specs on that and all the things that Jay has listed, go to his website. It's Ribaldo.com. Ribaldo.com. You can also call Jay, email him at jribaldo@kw.com. jribaldo@kw.com. All right. There's reports now, ESPN, the Mavericks have let it be known we're not trading the number one. They're going to take Cooper Flagg.
Nico said that, or did the owner
Well,
say
it's reportedly.
Okay.
You know, I don't think there's a name to it.
Yeah, they're like, we did this once, and we lost a shit ton of money. We ain't going to do it again.
Yeah, we're not going to
You
trade
just brought a
another
bunch
white
of fans.
star.
Yeah, we just brought a bunch of fans back. We don't want to lose the ones we just brought back.
You know, it's funny thinking about where Mavs fans are. They got put. Basically, you walk in on your old lady banging your brother. It's that bad, right?
Ooh. Everybody got to die.
A few months later, it's like maybe that's a bad analogy. I don't.
No, I know, but it's everybody got to die. But go ahead.
You could not have been effed over by your own franchise more, and then 2 or 3 months later, you wind up with the rights to Cooper Flagg. So if you're a Mavericks fan, all is forgiven? We're right, no problem. I'll go ahead and renew my season tickets after all. They've been put in. It's been like I said yesterday. How are you going to explain the 25 season to your grandkids in 20 years if you're a Mavs fan? How do you even begin to break down the 25 season?
You start
incredible.
You start by saying, I don't know what happened, but the Dallas Mavericks traded a guy that was first team All-NBA 5 times in a row, sold out the arena every night, top 5 in jersey sales around the world.
Yeah.
But they decided that he smoked too much hookah and drank too much beer, and they didn't want to give him $350 million, so they traded him. You mean the guy Luka that won 3 titles with the Los Angeles Lakers? He was once with the Mavericks? Yeah, baby. He was a Maverick.
And then 4 years later, Cooper Flagg didn't want to play for scumbags anymore and forced his way to San Antonio.
Yeah, that's how you say it.
The fact that I can't get over the fact that those people wound up winning the lottery with 1.8% odds.
Yeah, Kyrie Irving, who's going to get to play with Cooper Flagg, tweeted out 1.8% laughing emojis.
Right. Even
you sent
Kyrie thinks it's funny.
You sent me a clip of Dwayne Wade saying, Dwayne Wade went on record and said, well, people got to understand it's a business.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he was like, in 2008, he went on to say in 2008, we had the best chance. I thought we were going to get the number 1 pick. He's with the Heat at this time. This is before Bron joins him.
Yeah.
I thought we were going to get the number 1 pick. Lo and behold, Chicago gets it.
Yeah.
We end up with Michael Beasley.
When a Chicago kid is the top pick.
Come on. So that's LeBron, D. Wade, Kyrie Irving, and numerous other NBA players that feel like, hey, man, something ain't right here.
Something ain't right.
Something is wrong.
Something is wrong. Yeah.
Right.
All right, we have a guest. I'm being told that he is ready to roll, so bring on guest. There he is. There's my buddy. There he is. It's J.J. Gottsch, the CEO of the Austin Gamblers, who Now, I've known JJ for a while. It's not like we hang out 10 times a year, but even me, like his fringe fans, his fringe buddies, we were all like, wait, what? A few years ago, we found out that JJ was getting out of the baseball business.
Yeah.
And was going to go run a bull riding team.
Right.
Okay. And I thought that's going to be weird to see him running a bull riding team. But now but now I've gotten so used to you now, JJ, wearing your cowboy hat and your boots and your buckle and repping the Gamblers. Hell, it looks like you fit in from day. You look like a cowboy from the day you started. So it's worked out great. How long was it? 3 years now since it's been? How long?
Yeah, 3 years. Jumped from baseball to bull riding in February of 22.
Baseball to bull riding. It sounds like your memoir.
JJ,
Right.
why? Why, JJ? I'm Art. Nice to meet you, JJ.
Man, you know what? If you're friends of Mike, you're friends of mine. So
Same here, brother.
no, and congrats on the podcast and everything you guys are doing.
Thank you.
It's been fun to watch y'all's journey and be a part of it. Even though I live here in Austin, my wife's family's from San Antonio, and so been following you guys for a long, long time, and it's been fun as we've all kind of grown old together.
Yeah.
Our careers have kind of,
That beautiful white beard.
That beard is great.
Right. So they said if you have gray hair, it makes you look smarter. So I got a bunch of it, man. So I must be super smart.
JJ, we call it distinguished. You look distinguished.
Right. I don't look distinguished. I just look like an old ass. So, honestly, there wasn't one reason. 3 years ago when I did this, I worked for the Nolan Ryan family and just an unbelievable group of people. And you guys are getting to know them better now with their involvement with the missions and the new ballpark that's coming down there. But just fantastic people. Had been with them and friends with them for a long time. Worked for them for 20 plus years. Helped start and develop the Round Rock Express here in Central Texas. Went down and opened up the Corpus Christi Hooks and Whataburger Field down there. We brought Big League Weekend to San Antonio in the Alamo Dome for 5 years and just got to do a lot of really cool things. 3 years ago, I just turned 50. And, I probably could have stayed there for a long time and continued to do some fun things. But, was kind of looking for that next challenge or didn't even know that I was looking for one. This opportunity came about. PBR was starting this new team franchise, this new team concept, a sport like bull riding that had been individual for over 100 years, one guy, one bull. PBR was kind of flipping the script and creating this team concept, putting one of those teams in Austin, and the ownership group wanted somebody that had run a team in a league format and somebody that had connections in a network in Austin. And so, I guess I was one of those guys that was in the mix. I just turned 50. It looked like a great challenge. I'd gotten to build teams from the ground up. I'd never gotten to build a league. So that was exciting. The Moody Center here in Austin was just opening, and that's was going to be our home venue. So it was just a lot of different things that happened at once. And then ultimately I went to the Ryans and talked to them about it, and they just gave me their blessing. They're like, listen, if we had something special for you here, we keep you here, but go do it and go take that challenge on. And it's been awesome because we're just as close now as we've ever been. And honestly, it's fun because, as opposed to talking baseball with Nolan, I get to talk bull riding with him, and he loves him some Western sports.
That's awesome. Well, and y'all are the defending champions, which was overdue because the Gamblers have got close there for a couple of years, and then finally got over that hump and won the team title last year. And that's the reason we got JJ on now because they have world championships going on,
Right?
But you don't have much time. You got to turn right over and get ready for the draft next week, and then flip right into the season format, which is very cool because it'd be like the PGA. Halfway through the golf season, Rudy, we're going to have multiple teams now that play golf against each other, and that's what bull riders do. It's very cool, and that's where JJ comes in running the Gamblers in the drafts next week.
Now, JJ, for the people watching that don't get it, so since you're the defending champions, do y'all draft last, or do y'all get the last pick? Take us through how it's going to work next Tuesday.
Yeah, so let me kind of rewind because I think Mike hit on a good point. I think, Mike, the best way to describe this because the PBR season is really divided into two parts. Half of the year, it's these guys competing as individuals, which that season is ending this weekend at Cowboy Stadium, AT&T, with the World Finals.
Nice.
And we got 3 of our guys that are riding for $1 million. So that's happening right now. But then the other half is his team season. And so, Mike, to your point, it'd be like this. if PGA golf and live golf lived in the same world, and everybody golfed in PGA for half the year, and then the other half of the year they all went to live and played on teams. That's what our concept is now.
Right.
So that individual season is ending this weekend at Cowboy Stadium. We got Dalton Castle, the number 1 rider in the world. He's going for $1 million. We got Sage Kimsey, who's won 7 PRCA World Championships. He's in the mix. And then Mike's favorite, Jose Vitor Leme.
Yes, sir.
He's the GOAT. He's a 2-time world champion, 2-time league MVP. He's been out for over half this individual season with injuries. He came back in last weekend in the first round in Fort Worth, was one of only 2 riders to go 4 for 4, moved from number 18 to number 6 in the world, took home $197,000 for about 32 seconds of work. So it's going to be super exciting this weekend. And then next Tuesday, the entire world of Western sports is going to get on I-35, drive down to Austin from Arlington, and we're hosting the draft here. And so all 10 teams will come in. It's going to be at ACL Live at the Moody Theater. Got Shane Smith and the Saints, our buddy, are going to do a concert afterwards. But, Rudy, it's a 3-round draft, similar to anything that you've seen in NFL, NBA, MLB. And to your point, obviously, unlike how the NBA works to where the worst team does not actually get to pick first, it does work that way. And so, last place gets first pick and so on. So, yeah, so we're at the end. We moved up a couple spots. We got the number 8 pick and the number 28 pick. So, it's going to be an exciting event, to think about this, not only me not doing this 3 years ago, but the city of Austin. And you guys are just down the road in San Antonio. The city of Austin, and it's a great city and I love it, but it's the most non-Texas Texas city.
Yes.
Nobody in Austin is from Austin.
He's
and
got
it
the
wasn't
balls
a
to
true.
say that.
Great point.
Yeah, but it's true. And it's, nobody, when I go to San Antonio, 9 out of 10 people are from San Antonio. When you come to Austin, 9 out of 10 people are not from Austin. They haven't grown up on a ranch. They haven't been on a horse. They definitely haven't been on a bull. They've not been around this. So 3 years ago, we were not a bull riding town. We were not a PBR city. But now 3 years later, we got 2 regular season championships. We got a world championship. We got the best riders in the world competing for us. And now we're bringing literally the entire world of Western sports to draft the next generation. So it's been pretty cool to see that transition in 3 years in terms of Austin being able to become a real part of the professional bull riding world.
Now, we all know where the NBA drafts its players from. How do y'all find new riders? Where do you guys find kids? Like, are they smaller circuits? Obviously, a lot of the kids are Brazilians. How do you scout and find out who's draft eligible?
Yeah, it's like any other sport. It's awareness and where people are able to ride. So, like in hockey, you're going to get most of your guys out of Canada, right?
Yeah.
Well, in bull riding, most of our guys are going to be coming from Texas, the Southwest, North Carolina, places where ag business, bull riding, and rodeo is popular because, it's not like, when we're kids and Mike, you were growing up in Fort Worth and you can go down the street, just take a baseball, a bat, and 3 or 4 gloves and you and your buddies could play home run derby. You could go down and play basketball. Like to do bull riding, you need an arena. You need bulls. You need bullfighters. You need all the equipment. It's just not like walking down the street with your buddies. So there's got to be some kind of access. And so usually the West, Southwest, anywhere where rodeos are popular. And then most of our guys, and you look at the top 20, the top 50 in the world, 50 to 55% are from Brazil. And so we actually, in addition to holding a combine here, we hold a combine down in Brazil to where we go down, all 10 teams will go down there for 3 days, look at these kids, get an idea for them. And I would guess in this draft on Tuesday, of the top 30 guys that get drafted, I guess 20 are going to be Brazilian.
Wow.
It's such an important piece of what we do that the gamblers, we go down for training camp every year. So we go down to Brazil for a week. Our assistant coach has got a ranch there, and we end up competing in a town called Americana, of all things, in a PBR event down there. But, while we want to continue to expand PBR, in addition to being in the United States and Brazil, PBR operates in Canada. PBR operates in Australia. Actually, the number 2 bull rider in the world right now is from Australia. But we're trying to expand into Mexico and some of these other markets and really try to grow this sport because our biggest issue right now is that the bulls are outpacing the riders. And when you look about that, it's a math problem, because from genetics and everything else, you can turn a new bull around every 4 years. You keep getting that tighter and getting it better and better and better. For humans, it's about a 25-year cycle, right? From generation to generation. So we've got a 4-to-1 ratio where the bulls are getting better than the riders. And so for us, we just got to find more riders, and then we got to develop them better.
All right, man.
So Mike told me something, and I'm just a Texas man, JJ. So when he told me this, my mouth dropped. When you got into this, did you ever imagine that PBR would sell out the Garden? Like when I think of New York, the last thing I think about is a bunch of people that are going to go to a bull riding competition. You know what I mean? But again, I'm just a Texas man. I don't know any better. But did you ever think y'all be able to sell out in New York?
No, but what's amazing to that, though, is that all these places where you think it wouldn't be popular or it wouldn't work, like Madison Square Garden, watching the Knicks and the Celtics and knowing that we were there in January riding bulls inside that place, or American Bank Arena down in Sunrise, just outside Fort Lauderdale where the Panthers play.
Right.
Another amazing event. So all these different places from LA and crypto.com to Chicago, New York. What we end up seeing, actually, Rudy, is that in these towns where it's not as diluted, you can go to, when you got the San Antonio Stock Show and Rodeo in Houston and Fort Worth, where Mike's from, there's rodeo going on all the time. And so while it's great and it's popular and people go, what's fun is to go to these markets where people don't get it all the time and the market's not diluted. I'm telling you, while Madison Square Garden probably isn't my most favorite arena in the world, going to the PBR event there it's unbelievable. The pressure, the tension, just the excitement that people have for that, just because it's something they've never seen. And like I said, when we go down to some of these other markets, like Florida, like Los Angeles, like Chicago, it's awesome because all these people that are now, they've been watching Yellowstone in 1923 and all the Taylor Sheridan stuff. They're Western curious. They're cowboy curious. They needed a reason to buy a pair of boots. And they needed a reason to buy a hat. Yeah. Now they get to come and watch this. And what we did with PBR and what PBR did 32, 33 years ago is they took the best part of rodeo, which is bull riding, which is the reason they save it for last. And that's all they do. And so people get to come and see bull riding, the best part of the rodeo, for 2 hours with amazing music and pyro and fire. And it's just like a rodeo meets a WWE meets a rock concert. Mike's been to a couple of them, and you got to come to one as well. But it's amazing. And to go into some of these other markets, to your question, no, I didn't know, but now those are the most fun markets to go to.
That's
very
awesome.
A lot of sense. Very cool. Well, look, man, we look forward to coming up there. I can't thank you enough for accommodating us. By the way, 13%, the latest data trends on our channel show that 13% of our viewers live in Austin. So we're trying to branch out. We love San Antonio, but we're trying to grow this thing. So you're helping me getting some exposure with me and Rudy coming up to Austin. And I get to cover one of my favorite sports with a dude I know, and I appreciate it very much.
Me too.
Thank you, man.
Well, we appreciate you guys, and you've always been a big part of it here in Austin as well as San Antonio. And hopefully, before we're all dead and gone, San Antonio and Austin will be like DFW. We'll have a high-speed rail connecting it so we can go to a show and then get on the train and head back home. But you guys are great. Appreciate you guys spreading the word for us.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you,
care.
JJ.
See you next week. All right, there is JJ Gottsch, CEO of the Austin Gamblers.
New York, Chicago, LA. I get it because it's like, yo, you got some transplants, but then you also got some people that are just interested in it, and it's never there.
Right.
So you're like, yo, I'm excited. Let's go.
Yeah, it's once a year.
Yeah.
You get excited for bull riding, even if you don't think about bull riding again.
That's
for
the only
year.
sport. Like that's the only thing I go to indoors when at the San Antonio Rodeo. Like I'll go to the bull riding because it's like that's some crazy shit.
It's exciting.
Yeah, that's some crazy shit. So like that's the one thing. Like I've gone and sat and watched bull riding.
It is
before.
crazy.
Yeah.
Can you? I mean, I
like the calf roping
I've
too.
joked with guys before, riders and stuff, like, how is this even a fucking sport? Who's what at some point 150 years ago or longer?
Someone said, "Get on
some
that bull.
Crazy
See how long you can stay
fuckhead
on
was
there."
drinking. You think I can ride that fucking thing?
Yeah.
Shit, you can't get up there.
You think you can ride Rufus?
And
How long you think you can stay on Rufus?
Right. At some point, this
Shout out
sport
to
was
Rufus.
invented by some drunk guy.
Yeah.
Because only a drunk guy would think I'm going to get on that bull. And
But
see
at
if I
what
can
age do you
I'm gonna
say?
ride it?
Well, what age does your dad say it's time? You know how in basketball or football or baseball,
Yeah.
you give your kid a basketball, you say, let me see what he's got. You know, he's 6 or 7 years
right.
old. At what age does your dad say,
Well, a lot of them start off with they
the-
ride calves,
yeah,
sheep, pigs, little boys.
Yeah,
They'll
you're
start
right.
off
Yeah,
riding
I've
like
seen those
farm
videos.
animals. You start off with that,
okay,
and then you work your way up to bull.
yeah.
And man, and you also have to be kind of nuts to do this.
No, what do you mean, kinda?
Yeah, these guys,
You're nuts.
they're nuts.
So the Brazilians are some damn good bull riders.
They're incredible. So that's the Dominican Republic, to put it in baseball terms,
Got you.
to bull riding. 50% of the league are Brazilians.
Brazil.
A lot of cowboys, a lot of vaqueros.
What a job.
I
You have
don't
to
know
go to
how
Brazil
do you
for
say
a week.
cowboy in Portuguese? I don't know.
I don't either.
Massive,
Ask Jose.
massive bull riding scene down in Brazil. Soccer and bull riding. Who would have thunk? Who would have thunk?
Random
Thanks
as
to
hell.
JJ. So, yes, the three of us, we're going up to Austin Tuesday to spend the day. We're going to do podcasts from Austin. It's in the building in Austin. We're going to go up there, spend the day, probably walk the drag over at campus. I'll take you boys to some of my favorite spots to eat.
All right.
And then that afternoon, we're going to stop down. We're going to do a special afternoon late day podcast as we get ready for the draft. Probably have the
So another
commissioner.
2-day live.
Probably have JJ's boss on, the commissioner of PBR. Good scene, man. Can't
Great
wait for
scene.
it. We're going to be covering the draft the way ESPN covers the NBA draft. We're the guys, and I appreciate them letting us do it. They've been nothing but cool and accommodating, and they don't have to do that. They
No.
made room for us, and I appreciate it.
And a shout out to, I don't know if he wants me to put his name, but I got me a pair of boots.
You did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
One of our subscribers hooked me up, lives about 5 minutes from me.
All right, because a
Hook me
dude
up.
reached out to me yesterday, and I said, I told him I would tell you about it, but
Yeah.
someone got
Yeah,
you
I
over.
got
All
it.
right, so Rudy's got a pair of boots. Okay, 'cause you
I
gotta
didn't have to spend $200.
Jose, you're Jose, by the way. On
He ain't
Tuesday.
wearing no, but he's wearing those orange Crocs he has.
Do
on.
not. What are you gonna wear?
I don't know, just regular tennis shoes.
Okay, sneakers are fine.
You can't wear your Crocs, and you cannot bring those checkerboard pajamas.
No problem.
You're not rolling around Austin with me in checkerboard pajamas.
Here's
I'm
the
just
thing.
telling you now, bro.
There's so many Brazilians that are into bull riding. If you did wear Western clothes, people would think you were a rider, probably.
They would
Probably.
probably be like, "Yo, you should come to training camp."
Right.
I can do it. I can get on a bull.
But what?
Yeah. I can
I'll
do
put
it.
you on.
I could do what Mike did. Just plop on for a second.
I saw my wife ride the mechanical in Dallas.
That's different.
She fell off, but the 2-3 seconds she was up there,
Yeah.
I was like, I've been there.
Okay.
I've been that
I'm
mechanical
not.
bull.
I refuse to. I
I've
refuse
been
to
that
have a
mechanical
visual of
bull.
your wife on a mechanical bull. I'm not thinking about that. I don't know what you're talking about. Thanks to JJ. All right, it is in the building, presented in part by Slackers, the official sports bar of In the Building. Thanks to the group that showed up yesterday.
Oh yeah, how was it?
Made a couple of $100.
What up, Slackers?
Sold
Oh,
a
you did
couple
good.
$100. Yeah, they're about an hour. And had some people come in. A couple of guys just had a group that showed up and hung. Had a few guys just wanted to get tickets and go. And wound up making another couple of $100 yesterday. And
Like
Slackers
doing his job for the kids.
accommodated me. I was at the 281 Thousand Oaks location. Picked one of our sponsors. Why? What better place? And it was good to be
Not
out
that
there.
home.
And get a little. I tied one on. Had a couple beers at 6 o'clock.
Good. Tonight Slackers Wednesdays are become huge at the Slackadoches location.
Mm-hmm.
Like for you beer pongers, they have a league over there that's gotten pretty competitive, bunch of different teams. So if you're in the Nacogdoches area,
Yeah.
go out and check out the beer pong scene over there. It's gotten pretty real. I know a lot of you guys take that serious. I
They
suck
get
at it.
serious.
I suck at it, but Slackers, Nacogdoches, go play you some beer pong. Let them know In the Building sent you.
Thank you. Ghost of In the Building on KLMO is in here. We might bring that back. You never know.
Yeah.
$4.99. Mike's pool game.
Did you play some pool last
We
night?
played one game. We played doubles. Our team lost.
Oh,
Ah.
so now you suck at pool? Because
I ain't played in a while.
I have a pool table at my house, but
I'm pretty good
it's a
at pool.
closet.
I just hadn't played in a long time.
Yeah,
I can play
I
pool.
was good for a while. When we first got our pool table at our house, I was playing every weekend, but now,
Oh, I can shoot pool when I get. Once I get back in the group, I'm not
yeah, same.
bad. But our doubles team got beat. So.
It's all good.
So
At least you sold some tickets. That's what we were there
Sold
for.
some tickets, absolutely, and played doubles. I'm not used to playing doubles.
Yeah, you got to
have
wait on somebody.
wait.
Yeah, you waiting and waiting.
Yeah,
and
and you're at
waiting.
the mercy of 3 other guys hitting. So,
Yeah.
it's all good. What else today? I got Buy Me a Super Chat out of the way. People are spending money. I appreciate that. Well, Saturday, barbecue. Okay, speaking of selling tickets, me and Rudy have a major announcement.
Oh, yeah.
During the barbecue at noon. Make sure, I'm not sure what time you plan to, you'll be there at noon,
I'll
right?
be there before noon.
Okay, cool.
Because since we're doing the announcement at noon, I'll be there before
Okay,
noon.
very good. All right, so at 12 o'clock, high noon, Rudy and I will take the stage at the barbecue on Saturday. We have a major announcement we will announce. What better place to do it than in front of 1,000 of our friends and family? So we got a big announcement coming up Saturday at noon.
Just let them know me, my wife, and kids are coming. They don't know me, so they're going to want to charge me $100. So just let them know we're coming.
Wait, did they try to charge you last time?
No, I'm just saying they might not know me. You know, I'm not.
They better know you.
I'm not LeBron James. I don't have that type of facial recognition.
They'll know y'all. We'll get you. Well,
Okay.
Don't worry about it. I got
Okay.
that. I got a stack of tickets this day.
That's
I'll just give you some tickets. You got to worry about that. All right, Rudy. Every morning we text each other what we want to get into or what we're thinking about getting
Yeah.
the tires on. You mentioned watching Jokic last night and had a Wemby tie-in. What'd you want to get into with that?
First
Because
off,
I've not talked to you about what you meant.
First
yet.
off, I know, hell, once every 2 weeks I come in here drooling about Joker. I don't know, man. I haven't seen, again, this is my eyes. I'm not talking about anybody. I haven't seen anybody like this dude with the touch, the vision, mid-range,
Mhm.
three ball, post up, leader. And that's another thing. Joker is really good at country dumb. I'm starting to think he's from Texas because he plays this role like, oh, whatever happens. And I just want to see he wants to win more than anybody out there. He plays country dumb, but Joker wants to win more than anybody out there.
Well, he just fired his coach a month
Yeah,
ago
he just
because
fired
he's
his coach.
tired of losing.
I just want, I watching Joker, I'm just like, damn. Adelman went to him, his head coach, his new an interim head coach, went to him and said, man, you're passing up a lot of threes. Like, you're passing up threes. And Joker's in his mind probably like, yeah, I got Harkenstein and Chet on me. I'm going to abuse them. And that's what I want from my guy.
Mm-hmm.
I want Wemby to play the game he wants to play, but I also want I want Mitch and Brian and Pop and Brett Brown and the rest of the assistants to say, hey, you will have your opportunities because every big man has this little guard that lives in his head, the point guard. These big men, they all have a point guard that lives in their head and says, take it up the court, dribbles, go coast to coast, shoot three. That guy in Wemby's head is taking over. All I want Wemby, and I'm not even say Wemby because Wemby's just playing. I want the coaching staff to let him know, like, bro, every now and then, can we just abuse their front court because you're 7'5"? Like, Thunder have no answer. Like, the Thunder's the best team in the West this year, right? If they have no answer for Joker, what is Chet Holmgren or Harkenstein going to do with Wemby if he decides, like, I'm going to just take your ass in the post? Mm-hmm. Now, obviously, they can move him around a little bit more. Jokers are hard to move around because he's a little bit heavy, dad bod weight. But there's 5 big men that went, there's only 5 big men that can literally, you got Gobert, maybe Chet, maybe a few other guys that you could say, hey, you know what, they can handle Wemby in the post. But anybody else, just go get the easy basket, and then that makes the 3-ball easier. My best friend's dad used to always tell me, get a layup, get a mid-range. You get in more of a rhythm that way. I just hate seeing Wemby just come down and start jacking up threes as soon as the game starts. I just feel like his game should be predicated around, because the Joker gets his 3-ball. He gets to play like a guard sometime. He brings the ball up court, but when he sees he has a clear mismatch, he abuses it. And he abused OKC last night. Now, he didn't have no help. His team folded on him. They got tired. It looked like J.J. Redick was coaching the Nuggets. He didn't give Joker a blow, and he got tired. But just take advantage of some of this. Like, perfect example, the Lakers. Minnesota abused them because they had no big man.
Right.
If Rudy Gobert can go for 27 and 20 on the Lakers, Wemby should have 40 and 30 when he plays the Lakers because they have no big man. Mm-hmm. I just watched Joker and I'm like, damn, that could be my guy. Obviously, the weight difference is a thing, but that could be my guy if he so chooses. If he gets that little guard out of his inner ear sometime. I just get jealous watching Joker sometime.
Where was Joker year 2?
He wasn't this.
Not this.
Because even in the bubble, you go back to the bubble, Anthony Davis and Dwight Howard gave him fits. So I'm with you on that, Mike. It's going to take some time. But I just and that may come with maturity, and that may come with more years in the league. Like, you know what? I got a clear mismatch. I'm going to just draw the double team. I'm just going to sit down here on the block.
Joker was a second-round pick in 2014. So
he didn't really come around to about 2021, 22?
He needed time.
He needed time.
A lot of that was confidence. That
Great point.
Once he grew into his body and was able to determine this is what I'm capable of doing, then it became having the confidence to go do it.
Great point.
And I'm with you. I mean,
but yeah, Wemby's only going into his third year. It took Joker 6. I think 2020 he had his coming out party. He got to the Western Conference Finals. So you're right. But some patience is needed.
Vic, as they call him, needs to get to. They want to go to the playoffs next year. That's all we're hearing. They want to make moves that get them into the postseason next season. And a lot of that, if the Spurs are going to go to the playoffs next season, a lot of it has to do with De'Aaron Fox now fitting in and getting accustomed to being here. What can Steph Castle do to avoid a sophomore slump? What other players do the Spurs maybe trade for? But the number one thing that's going to make sure the Spurs get Wemby to the playoffs is Wemby himself. Wemby needs to become, and he was on his way to being defensive player of the year.
Oh, there's no debate. He was going to win it.
I'm with you, Rudy. I want to see an even more confident guy in year 3 take games over.
If Jackson Hayes is on Wemby's back, I want him on the block.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? If Rui Hachimura is guarding Wemby, I want Wemby in the paint.
I want Wemby to be like a badass pitcher.
Yeah.
You've got 4 Hall of Fame level pitches. Every game requires maybe a different one of your pitches.
Right.
You know, there are nights where Wemby needs to dominate based on who shows up.
Yeah, if Steven Adams is on you, bring him outside.
Yeah.
If Anthony Davis is guarding you, figure it out. Like you're going to get your nights where you get to be a guard.
Sure.
But I mean, if it's Jackson Hayes or Rui Hachimura, go to the elbow.
Sure.
Go to the block. Abuse them.
They have a system, and that's great, but the great players go beyond the system and take games over.
Right.
And namely, they take them over mostly this time of year,
like
which
Joker
Wemby's never been.
They came up short, but that's what Joker did last night.
Wemby's never been to this time of the year. You know? He's never been here. So Wemby needs to, if they're going to go to the playoffs, then Victor Wembanyama needs to lead them there.
Amen.
You know what I mean? And so I'm with you on that. And I think you've been hard on him at times.
I have.
But that's okay. That's fine. We're asking him to be the cornerstone next great franchise player of all time. That comes with having giant balls and fuck you attitude and dominance. And we're 2 years in. Cool. In year 3, I want to see you become first team All NBA.
Yeah.
It's that time.
And
that's on him. Not Antetokounmpo, not De'Aaron Fox, not Mitch Johnson. It's on Victor Wembanyama himself.
Yeah.
I'm with you on that.
And I went and watched, because you said this yesterday, I went and watched some Dylan Harper.
He's good. Uh-oh. You ready to go Dylan at number 2 now?
Fudge, Mike.
Sometimes
I want Giannis. Sometimes I want Bailey. Today I want Harper.
It's hard.
Today I want Harper.
It's not obvious.
Tomorrow I might go back to Giannis.
Yeah.
And then Friday I might go back to Bailey. But today, Wednesday, I want Dylan Harper. Because I think him and Castle could possibly be the best backcourt in the West in a couple years.
Yeah.
In a couple years. I'm not talking about tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
But again, y'all chat. Tomorrow I might go back to Giannis. I don't know. But after I watched some Harper highlights last night, I was like, and he's a lefty.
He's good. He's only 18.
Wednesday, I want Harper. Today I want Harper.
I like him. I like Dylan Harper. All right. It's in the building, presented in part by Texas Cheer Liquor. It's a hot week. So don't forget to go grab your cold ones. Texas Cheer Liquor. If you're going to go to the barbecue Saturday, again, we don't mind. We don't mind you partaking.
Right.
We just ask that you act like an adult and put it in a cup or something. So Hell, go bring you a lit kit already pre-mixed. There's no label on that.
Yeah, just put in your Yeti. Now I have an update. So remember that in April, they did the whistle pig competition for the Traeger.
Yeah.
Well, the owner, AD, he loves the horse race so much, he's going to give me all the entries. Because there's the building people in there. He wants us to do a horse race to give away the Traeger.
No shit.
Yeah.
When are we doing this?
When he gives me all the entries.
He's going to collect.
He's going to give. Yeah, he's going to give me. And we're going to
Okay.
put them in the horse race.
That's
Because
a
there's some
great
in the building
idea.
people in there
Dude, a Texas Cheer horse race.
for the Traeger. $800 Traeger.
I don't know how long Bouquet's going to be our producer. We could get tired of him at some point.
Or he could clear. He could get tired
But
of us.
his lasting legacy is going to be introducing us to the horse race.
Yeah.
Everyone loves it.
Yeah, AD
That's what's
loves
keeping you employed, by the way. That is your legacy at this
it. That's your legacy.
Good.
And
point.
that you want men to run your cheeks.
That too, yeah.
Okay, I'm trying to get out of it. Sorry, AD. It's Texas Cheer Liquor. Go pick up your booze when you need it at Texas Cheer. 6 days a week, closed Sundays, of course, to sell liquor. They got 6 locations in San Antonio, 1 up in Bernie, and at all 7 of them, you get 5% off when you mention in the building, 5% off when you mention in the building. All right, we find out day before yesterday that the Cowboys will open up this season. On Thursday night, they'll open the season with the first game, I guess it's the Amazon game, in Philadelphia.
Ring night.
Yeah, to watch the Eagles get their rings.
I'm not coming out for that.
Then we find out today that the Cowboys' Thanksgiving opponent at Jerry World will be the damn Kansas City Chiefs.
Bro, that is.
So far, we're 0-2.
Yo. Yeah, we're 0-2.
They ain't beating Philly on.
No, they could beat Philly.
Not on ring night.
Dak's good against Philly in the and
Yeah.
it's September. I think Cowboys win. Now Thanksgiving, Patrick Mahomes, all his family an hour away. He's in Texas. He's gonna stomp a mud
His
hole in the
boyhood
Cowboys.
team.
He's gonna beat the dog shit out the Cowboys on Thanksgiving.
He's gonna
He
kick their
gonna
ass.
beat the shit out of it. They're gonna beat shit down their leg. But damn, I would love to go to that game. I would just go. I've been to a couple where the tailgate scene at Jerry World is fantastic.
Yep, it's
It's
great.
fantastic, and people got their 65 inches out there. I could watch it from
Shit.
the freaking
Bro.
parking lot.
Have them Mexicans out there in the parking lot tailgating. Ain't even got a ticket to the game.
Yeah, because you pay $150 for your parking spot, and you just chill.
there. Yeah,
Free food,
love it.
drink all day.
Oh my god.
I smell
Yes.
a road trip. Oh well, shit.
Absolutely
It's
smell a road
Thanksgiving.
Well, we can go any. We got
I'll be
other
in
games.
Dallas for Thanksgiving
No,
anyway.
We don't have to go on Thanksgiving. I've been on Thanksgiving. It was fun. No, we can go another time.
We'll
for
go
sure.
another time,
Yeah.
yeah.
So Chiefs at Jerry World on Thanksgiving. Patrick Mahomes is on a mission after they got their ass kicked in the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
And we'll see if Taylor Swift shows up to Jerry World for Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah.
You know, she's going to want to be with her man on Thanksgiving, so we'll probably have Taylor, and she'll probably be up there with Jerry. Jerry won't be able to help himself. He's going to make sure that she's sitting in his
I
suite.
saw fit that you be in here with us
Yeah.
because you are responsible.
Your
whether you know
mama
it or not.
sure is good
Yeah,
looking.
You're responsible for 15 million of these 30 million viewers.
That's right. Come on, I'm all about the clicks.
You like Johnny Walker Blue?
Yeah,
Oh, hold on.
yeah,
You like
yeah,
cherry
take another
vodka sour?
You know,
Yeah.
I'll make babies easy. Come on now, come here. You seen the pictures of me online?
Yeah, you know what? Matter of fact, Jerry
I can
don't need to
still
be
get
in
it
there.
up. Shit. I may be 82, but I still got an Arabian sword in my pants. Hell,
Arabian sword.
they ain't beating the Eagles and they ain't beating the Chiefs, so that's 2 losses right there. Great. What else? What else is on that run sheet? Oh, so this.
What else? What
I'm
happened?
just about ass whipped all the way to my core on Bill Belichick girlfriend talk,
What? Oh, yeah.
dude. So Belichick has to know that this has gotten out of hand
Mm-hmm.
because he actually decided. You know, this was set up by North Carolina and Belichick's people. They're trying to save face over this girlfriend's bullshit. If he really wants to save face, he dumps her ass. That's what he does. But that's neither here nor there.
If he was the same
They
guy from
set up-
2005, but
Right.
he's not. Right.
Same guy from 2015. They
Right.
set up an interview with him on ESPN yesterday.
I saw
And
this.
He said during the interview that he addressed the team about Jordan Hudson, his girlfriend. He brought the team over to the side. Hey, y'all probably seen some stuff about my girlfriend. She's not a distraction. She has nothing to do with football.
He addressed the team, yeah.
Nothing to do with football. When you have to bring your whole team over to the corner to address your girl, to tell them she's not a distraction. She most very well certainly is a fucking distraction.
And then you're going to go to your team and tell them the week before Clemson, block out all distractions.
Right.
You have the biggest distraction on the team, coach.
Correct. Belichick's the distraction.
I'm just knocking down a few cuties.
Right.
You got the distraction,
Correct.
coach.
Coaches go through divorces. Coaches have girlfriends. Coaches have off-the-field drama
Right.
in their personal life all the time.
All the time.
But they don't let it fuck up their whole public life the way Belichick has.
Right.
Sark went through a divorce and a reconciliation with his wife. They're back together. They got divorced and then got back together.
That's right.
And had a baby after that. Worked out great. So he was going through all that off the field while leading the Longhorns to the semifinals. We didn't hear about her. That wasn't a big deal. We saw a couple of things, but we didn't see her on the practice field. She wasn't creating drama.
No.
You know, lots of coaches and a lot of college coaches are young, not like Belichick. They go through girlfriends. You don't think Coach Bro rolled through some honeys
At Tech
and A&M?
I've heard.
But that shit did not.
I heard that.
It did not affect football.
No.
This old man is affecting football, and when you have to tell your team that it's not, that it is,
And it makes everybody uncomfortable. What's up, Calm?
Yes,
What's
it's
up,
so
Pup?
uncomfortable.
Yeah, it makes everybody uncomfortable. It's weird.
So uncomfortable.
Such a weird story that we will be following here on In the Building.
Yes, and I'm beaten down by it.
If
but
she
it's
gets a
story that
headset,
won't go
I
away.
give up.
Dude.
She's gonna have a headset on Saturdays.
Oh my God. All right. Show brought to you in part by GC Services, Roofing and Construction / Lone Star Nano Services. GC serving the greater San Antonio all the way to the Corpus Christi, South Texas corridor. If you need your roof inspected, call my boys at GC Roofing. If you need your roof or your driveway treated, call my boys at Lone Star Nano Service. They partner up on these jobs. GC will come out, take a look at your roof. Maybe it needs a major overhaul, a big fix. These boys will do it. Lots of our subscribers, Thunderdomers, have done business with GC over the last year and a half. 7 different subscribers have had new roofs put on by GC.
Let's get some sprays.
Not
Let's
everybody,
get some
though,
driveways.
needs a whole new roof.
Right.
And in that case, that's where Lone Star Nano Services comes in. And they spray this, what did he call it? Miracle juice?
Miracle sauce.
Something
What did
nasty.
he call it? He
Roof
just texted us
sauce.
that yesterday.
Some sort of sauce.
Yeah, I forget.
They spray this sauce on your roof.
Yeah.
And
It's
what it does is it saves the life.
Love sauce.
Love sauce.
That's nasty.
For your roof.
But it's great though.
Or your driveway. Go get the love sauce that Lone Star Nano Services has. They'll spray their roof, and it will literally preserve the life of your roof by as much as up to 15 years.
Yeah.
15. Now, we are in storm season still. God forbid you ever had a major roof damage. That's where GC comes in. So any and all things roof servicing, GC Services, Roofing and Construction, and or Lone Star Nano Services. I got to get to the TV station.
Yeah, let's go.
Quick shout out to the Campeche Collective.
That's a badass shirt.
That is the name of the company that made this shirt. This is a weird, random fun fact. So Campeche Collective usually makes shirts for the Packers. All right.
No shit.
Now they're based here, but they have a big Packers following, and they normally make T-shirts that are Packers related. Don't ask me how that got going, but it
Don't
did.
matter.
But they made this. Shout out to Campeche Collective. That's where I got this kick-ass El Jefe Greg Popovich shirt. And I've moved on. It is what it is. I'm ready for the season. I'm excited for the draft. I'm excited for maybe trading for somebody, maybe Giannis. I'm going to give Mitch Johnson all the chance in the world. But I ain't never going to forget this old man here.
We can't.
Still getting over that. May not ever get over the loss of Pop, ever. All right, thanks to JJ Gottsch from the Austin Gamblers.
Thank you, JJ.
Thank you to Jose Bouquet. Thank you to Rudy J. I got to fly. I got to go feed dogs and then go to the TV station. Tomorrow, Jeff Traylor is supposed to try to make another appearance. We couldn't get his volume working yesterday. Jose couldn't get his volume working yesterday, not us. Sports movie talk I want to get into.
Okay.
A couple of cool sports movies that are coming down the deal soon. And we'll talk about
One
murders.
really cool.
Murders. Sports movies, murderers, and trailer, and whatever else happens tomorrow. Love y'all hard. Thanks, everybody. Share it, like, tell your friends, comment. Get us into the algorithm. See y'all tomorrow. Love you hard.